architecture here. So, which means we have the presentation layer, which means where you are here, your logon pad and everything is here, right? From here, you will connect to the SAP. But SAP, when you do the SAP installation, here you will get the two instances. One is the ASCS instance, second one is the application server instance, application server, right? So, ASCS, we have only message server, enqueue server, but application server here we have the TV, right? Remaining work process will sit here. B, G, S will sit here. Along with you have the dispatcher also available here in the middle. So then IGS, ICM also available here. That is fine. This will sit here. So every application server by default you will get the, so by default you will get the 10 dialogues, 10 dialogue work process. Then 6 or 5, I think 6 BTC work process you will get here, right? So this is the commonly you will get it out. Later we can increase to the 10 to 20, 30, we can increase it. Why? Because one dialogue work process will handle the, so 5 to 10 users will handle it here. Minimum 2 should be free, right? In the system. So here, what is happening here? So dialogue work process, okay, fine. You have the hundreds of users are logging at a time, right? One at a time they are logging means this 10 work process will not handle, right? So then system is overloaded, very busy, overloaded. Then they will face the some slowness. Why? Because your request is not getting picked by the work process because of you have the less work process. You have the thousands of users are there. So then in that case, what we can do, we can install, we can create the, we can add the one more application server, we can add it. One more application server, we can add it. That is possible. One more host, one more application where we can add it. When you install the one more application server, again, you will get the dispatcher, not the ASCS. ASCS you will not get. ASCS is only one, DB is only one. Only application server you are talking, right? So then here you will get the, DV, EB, MGS, you will get it out. Then there also DV, EB, MG, we will get it out here. Someone asking about the VTP class, today class at what time? 9 AM IST. Okay, here we have the dialog update background gateway spool, dialog update gateway spool. You will get it out here, right? Why? Load balancing purpose. Load balancing purpose. That time you will not directly connect to the application server. You will use the message server. Message server will do the load balancing to the available work process, available instances here, right? So now you are doing directly, you are connecting to the dispatcher, application server dispatcher. Then dispatcher will assign to the dialogue work. That is what happening in the now scenario. But when you have more than one application server, you will use the, you will use the logon groups, which means message server to connect to the message server here, which means message server will distribute the load to the available application server. In which application server? 1, 2, 3, the 3 application server where we have the less load, your request will be routed to the that application server. In this way, these 3 instances, these 3 application servers are taking the load, right? Equally, it will take the load. But DB is only one. DB is only one here. ASS is only one. We are only one. But application servers are the more than 2, more than 1 we can install it. Because for the production business is very high, right? Production systems business is very high. So that's why we are having these issues here. So that what we can do, we can create the more than one, we can create it so that equally it will distribute the load here. Why? Because here also dialog work process update, here also dialog update background. So gateway spool are available, 5 work process are available. So it will do. But current our scenario, we are directly connecting to the application server. So here SM50 means only local, means specific to the one application server related work process overview. We can see it, right? Sir, I have 3 application server, 3 times I need to log into the each and every application server means it will create the time. But I want to see all the application server details of all the work process status in the one glance. one glance, I want to see it here. One glance, I want to see it here. Then in this case, what I have to do it here. In this case, what I have to do. Then in this case, what you need to do? You need to log into the system. Just execute the what transaction code. I want to see the all the entire system. How many application servers are there? I want to see the all the application server related work process overview. I want. So what is the transaction code? I want to use it. Not the single application server. I want all the application server related entire global related. I want to see it here, which means what is the transaction code?
SM60. SM66.
Right. SM66 here. So using that one, we can transport it here. So now authentication failed. That is fine. That will be login. So our login to our NW1. So NW1, let's see. So why we are unable to connect to the NW1? Why we are unable to connect to the NW1? It's connecting. It is showing. So why we are unable to connect to the NW1 system?
Maybe down or is overloaded. There are
Okay.
two
Yeah. So how to check that one, whether it is down or overloaded?
Go to MST
Go to
and
task. Go to task.
Yeah, either MSTSC, right? MSTSC, we can check it out whether it is down or so MSTSC, not MSTSC, MMC, SAP Management Console, we can check it out.
Management console.
Yeah, Management Console, we can check it out. What you will check in the Management Console? Green or yellow?
Instance.
Or what is the status of the work process? What you will check in the Management Console? This type of questions you will get. That's why I'm asking. You will open the MMC console. Okay, let's open the MMC console. Okay.
Dispatches.
Okay.
Where the application server is running or not. So again, we have to start the application server. Yeah,
Okay.
the web, like a web will be there.
Okay. Now it is not showing anything. What does it mean?
It is
Just
down.
around.
It is not working. It's a ash mode, so it's down. We have to start the system.
Right.
Application
Currently
server and
offline. We have to activate it.
Yeah, how to start it?
Go to NW1, right click
Okay.
and start.
Okay, start. Okay, here it is asking the user ID. You can just type the NW1 ADM and password. You can give it here. So now which one start first? Yes, will start first. Okay, I will tell you the startup procedure also, but here then immediately dispatcher will start it. Immediately dispatcher will start the other instances here. So dispatcher starting. Someone who is not talking, can you go on with this? Okay, so then you can go to the work process information. Here we can see the status of the work process here. So in which status all the work process will be, means user request will pick up. Now it's in the dialog mode. In the dialog work process, in the new status, it will accept our user request now?
while in waiting, only it will accept some.
So now I'm clicking, will it accept our request? In which status work process will pick up the user request?
When it is
Wait status, right? When it is in the waiting status, work process will pick up. So now still it is connecting to, which means it is waiting for the work process. It is waiting for the work process to pick up the request here. It is waiting for work process to pick up. Just click on the refresh button, right? So one of the work process in the waiting status, immediately you got the SAP screen. Immediately you got the SAP screen here, which means your work process got picked your request. All are in the waiting status. It's a green, completely green status here, which means your SAP system is up and running now, right? Your SAP system is up and running now here. So then you can able to log into your SAP application server. You can able to log into the application. You got the screen now. why we have not got the previously. So basis or DDIC you can enter. So you can just use the 2024. Okay, here SM66. So you can see the system-wide work process overview. System-wide means so all the systems. These all are the same SID only. How many instances? All will be displayed in the one screen here. System-wise, all the instances will be displayed here. SM50. So also it is SM50 only specific to the one application server. Specific to the one application server only will be displayed, right? That is what the dialog, right? So now let's talk about the update work process. Okay, update work process here. What the update will do? In the name itself, we have updating, right? Updating. What updating? So once I log into the irctc.com, then immediately dialog work process is picked your request. Then you connect it to the IRCTC, you booked the ticket, you done the transaction. Then how this transaction will be updated in the database DB table level? Who will update here? Is there any person will come and pick up the data here and will post into the database level? Anyone come? No, right? Internal process will happen. Internally, which process will do this kind of things here? Updating. Once the user log into the dialog mode, he done the transaction update. So how that will be updated, right? Here, so dialog here, what will happen? Here, update work process will update the records into DB table level. It will be updated by the update work process here. That's simple. In the name itself, we have update work process will update the records into DB table level. Simple. Okay. So what are the transaction codes are? I want to check. How can we know whether it is updating or it is failing? First of all, it is active or not. How to know? We have to check right daily basis. If you don't, it's not updating, your transaction will stay same only. Even though you withdraw money from your ATM amount, your bank account shows same amount only. You have the 2000, you 2000 withdraw, then it will show that 0, right? Then it's not updating, which means you are the still showing 2000. But if you wait for some time, the update records will get inserted into the DB table level, your table level. Then immediately you will get the actual values will show. I think this happens for everybody sometimes, right? Update, it will not update quickly, right? Sometimes, right? Same as like update work process will do this kind of things here. Update work process, updating the transaction records, right? So here SM30, we can check the status of the update record. We can check if any failed update records. If any failed update records, we can check it out here. In SM14, we can check if update active or not. If update active or not, we can check in the SM14 transaction code here, right? We go to the SM13, just check it out. Just here you can check if you know the username and password, just put the username. But we don't know, put the star. Star means all. Then you can check the last 24 hours. Last 24 hours here. Are there any? So last 24 hours here. Are there any? So transactions got stuck or not here, right? Just check it out. Select the all. Just click on the execute button. It will display so when it transactions stuck or not, it will display the information. I see there the two updates records got stuck. One is the basis user, one is the DDIC user. At what time? So DDIC 23:43 and 11:43, and the second one is the 12:30 midnight. What these people are doing, and enqueus are deleted. So enqueus are deleted. So it's deleted. Someone deleted something here, right? Someone deleted. So which got not yet updated. The status is not get updated here, which means so update records are failed here. In case of in the real time also, if we find this kind of things, we have to inform to the respective functional team. We have to send email to the respective send email. So what they will do? They will do the repeat update. All the updates got repeated. So it got processed. One got processed, second one also processed. Right? So we have to do the repeat update, which means whatever they are looking, so they are whatever they are looking, so they have done something in the system, it's not updated. It's stuck in the here itself only. So then now we reprocessed. It's updated in the DB table level, it's updated. So which means the changes are reflected now. Right? So I want to check not only yesterday, I want to check all the dates, means remove the dates from date and to date, right? Just click on the execute. Oh my God, we have a lot of things are there here. Okay. Oh my God, we have a lot of things. You guys can progress these things, right? We have we can check it out why it got error, right? We got the error. Why it got error? Update what cancelled. We guess the so interval missing. Some interval number get interval is missing here. So okay, normally this kind of issues will be dealt by your functional teams or your application teams will deal it here. This kind of things here, right? So we have to inform them. They will take care of that persons, right? So we have to, as a administrator, as a day-to-day activity, we have to log into the system, check the work process status, check update records failed or not. We need to check all those things here, right? So that is the SM13. Sir, then immediately can execute the SM14/n SM14. Sir, why /n? And we need to come back, right? If you want to execute the transaction code, if you execute the SM14, it won't execute. If you execute the SM50, it won't execute. Sir, you have to go come back and execute the transaction code SM14, right? No, not required. Okay. If you are in the one transaction code, you want to jump into the other transaction code, just to enter the /n, which means new SM14. Directly it will jump to the transaction code. Directly it will jump to the another transaction code. Directly it will jump into the another transaction code. Directly it will jump into the another transaction code. Okay, you don't need to always come back. So not required. Okay, that's possible. So SM14, we can check update is active or not. SM14, we can check the update is active or not. If the update is active, then only your request will be processed. Suppose like update got deactivated. I have deactivated the update request. Okay, I have deactivated the update request. Now what will happen? Anybody? Any clues? So I have deactivated the update records. Okay.
SM13 will not work now, sir, because we are deactivated him.
Not the SM13 will work, but the records will get stuck into the
Yes, uh,
SM13, right?
correct. Yes.
Yeah, update will not progress. Suppose example, let's see the testing here. So what I am going to do, I am going to create the one user. I am going to create it here. One user, I am going to create it. So this one we know that we will also get it out, this transaction code. Just for example, I am doing here. So I'm going to create the user. Then when you click on the save button, so this is not saving. You got the message, update delayed. Wait, what does it mean? It's not saving. If you wait for 1 day also, it will be stay in the same. It is processing only, it's loading only. Means your transaction is not getting processed now. Now you know why, because we have deactivated the work process update, then that's why it's not saving here, right? Now we know. But now if I immediately activate it and come back to this screen here, and let's see what will happen. Immediately it will pick up the record and your transaction got saved now, right? Your transaction got saved, which means what happened? Your transaction got saved here, which means because of the update work process. So it means whatever you are doing the changes here, that is not saving here database level because of update is deactivated. What does it mean? So your update work process, that update of process guy is not doing his work properly. Why? Because maybe he is in the sick status or he is in the stopped status, someone hold. So something is happened, right? Though that may be the reason. So in case in the real time also, if you face this type of things, first our main point is the check whether update is active or not. So if it is the deactivated, then you can activate it. If deactivated, then you can come here, you can activate. It will come to know who will deactivate it and what time they have activated. All the information you will get to know here, right? So that is the one thing of the update work process, right? Updating the records, user records here. Okay, that is the update here. So the next one is the right update, SM13, SM14 here. So then apart from that update work process here, we have the not only apart from that work process, we have the general transaction codes also. So the next one is the enqueue. We'll discuss about the enqueue here. Lock entries. Enqueue, lock entries here. SM12, locking mechanism. Where the enqueue process will exist. Where the enqueue work process will exist. Is it application server or is it ASS instance? ASS, right? So along with the enqueue, which work process will stay with the enqueue work process?
Message.
Message server, right? So enqueue work process in the DVEBMGS D dialog update completed. Now enqueue. Enqueue means locking mechanism, which means it will lock it here. It will do the locking mechanism. So which means when you start doing the transaction code, so let me tell you the one example here. So here you have the one bus ticket here, right? You are the person here. Here one more person is there, one of your friend. So both are planning to book the window W36 or 37 seat. They are going to book it out here, right? He also trying to initiate that. He also trying to book it out. You also trying to book it out the same seat here, right? But whoever the first clicked that seat number, the lock will be happened to the transaction. Lock will be happened to that seat, so that until you complete the transaction code, here, then others will they are all able to book that seat number. Why? Because whether you book or not, you locked it, then others it will show it's already booked by already in progress by some other persons. So then it's not available for others. So which means, so whenever you log into the transaction, whenever you are doing the transaction, immediately the enqueue work process will log the transaction for you. So others it won't interrupt, or others they won't do any kind of things in the system. Therefore, they will only display one. So they have to book other ticket. But if you cancel the ticket, then others can book the ticket, same ticket, they can book it out. But if you already booked the ticket, then that is already processed by some other person, it's already booked it, right? So that sometimes we see, right? Whenever you're booking the ticket in the Red Bus or some other irctc.com or somewhere, when you want to book that window ticket, when you go and click on that button, it will show like it is being in progress, it's already booked by some other process, some other user. Like that you will get the messages or information, which means when you see it's there, when you go and click that button, that window is already booked by someone, which means other person also doing that one, right? If you click it out first, as soon as first, then first in first out, right? Our transactions are first in first out. Whoever first log in, then they can only go ahead and book the tickets, right? First in first out. Who will initiate the transaction code, first in first out. So that's what it will happen here. Whenever you log into the transaction, SM12 means enqueue work process will log the all your transaction. In SM12 we can find out the enqueue related things and everything here. Enqueue, right? Enqueue work process manage the lock table in the shared memory. In the lock table, it will enqueue table, it will manage, it will lock it. That locks will be stored into there is a lock table here. In the SAP level, there is a star lock table in the shared memory that contains the database level logic of everything here. It is to lock, unlock the object during an update here. Enqueue work process is used to lock or unlock the objects during the update process here. During the update process, user it will do. So the what exactly happens, a user submit a request for the update, right? Dispatcher receive that request and it will in the queue, and dispatcher allocate the request to the available work process, dialog work process. Then user can go ahead and do the work. But here, whenever immediately assigned to the dialog work process, then you are booking the one ticket, one transaction you are doing immediately. The enqueue work process will obtain the lock on that record. Whatever the record you are doing, it will obtain the lock on that record. So enqueue work process is not so, because all the enqueue work process will support this kind of work here. So in SM12 we can see it here. SM12 we can see the lock entries here. We can see the lock entries here. Instead of you checking the one user, just you can put the star and click the list. It will give you the lock entries list and everything here. Lock entries list and everything here, which means enqueue work process has lock entries list here, which means SM12 we can see the locking mechanism if any lock entries are there. Suppose example, in front of now itself only, I am going to create the some table entries, some company codes or some table entries. I am going to create it here. Click on the create button, right? So I'm going to create the some groups here. No? So means log on groups next session is ours only. Now what I am doing here, I will log in with the DDIC user, right? You are also going to book the same ticket here, same transaction code. You are also going to update same transaction. You are also going to update here. So then we click on the SMLG. It will say like, oh, it's currently locked by the user basis. Only display is possible. Only display is possible. You get why? Because this is currently locked by the user basis. Basis user is locked. You have only display access only. You cannot do anything. But in other session, I have opened it. I am trying to create the assignments here, but it's not possible. It's I am doing here until I complete. So you cannot do anything here in the transaction code here, which means it will obtain the lock on the records, right? So now you are not doing anything. Then immediately you go back and come back to the same screen here, SMLG. Then so it's locked. Why? Because since you are already in the transaction code here, just if you go back, then immediately this person can do anything here. This person can do anything in the systems here, this person, right? So now whether you click it out, you are able to edit it, create it here. So here in SM12, we can see the lock entry. It will obtain the lock entries. It will obtain the lock entries here, SM12 here. Just click on the list button. It will show the lock entries here. There is a exclusive lock got happened. Exclusive lock got happened to the your argument here. You can see what is the table name, it got expanded. What is the user, all the information got happened. Well, because he is doing something here, then one lock argument got issued to this user. Then once he complete the work, once he done the work, then immediately this lock entry will get removed, right? The lock entry is get removed here, right? So this kind of thing will be done by the enqueue work process, right? So one queue work process will be done by the locking the objects here, right? So normally what is our action items are here means, so as a day-to-day activity, you log into the SM12 transaction code and see are there any lock entries which are older than 24 hours. Any lock entries which are older than 24 hours. Suppose example, normally here you won't get it out. You log into the here. So here, let's see in the other systems. SM12. Let's see. Here we have some user request flow is available. So they can log into the here. display and delete the lock entries. SM12 will be displayed here. SM12 it will be displayed here, right? So lock entries, if any older than lock entries, so it will display the data. It will display the data in the systems here, which is so as per our regular, your organization will tell you or your manager will tell you if any lock entry which are older than 24 hours, we can check with that user whether that user is still active or not. Why? Because he is doing something and he left the he left the day, he left for the day, his work is done, but he's not completely logged out that session. He went for outside, but he's not picking the calls also. But others are affected, right? Because of his person, others are affected. Others are not doing the work here, priority works. So in that case, so we can check the whether what exactly is doing, whether still is doing the work or not. We can check it out in the SM12. SM12 we can check it out. So then if the lock entry older than 24 hours or we can take the approval and we can just here take the approval. Removing the lock entry, it's a simple process, but process we have to follow here, right? We need to take the approval from the our management, then approval from our management, then we have to so approval from the management, then we can delete the lock entries. We can delete the lock entries here. In the systems, we can delete it. That's what we have to do it in the so SM12. SM12 is the lock entries. Older than lock entries, we can get deleted, right? So that's what we can do it here. Why? Because he is not doing, if he something is doing, that's fine, but he's not doing anything. Is not active in the system also. Then in that case, we can easily remove the user transactions, the lock entries and everything. We can delete it here in SM12 here, right? So that is the SM12, right? SM12 DVE, right? That is the SM12 lock entries here, right? Apart from that, we have some other transaction codes also available, daily monitoring related work process, and the daily monitoring transaction codes also will come here, right? So one more first transaction code is the SM04. So here active logged on users list. So just simply we can write logged on users list, right? AL08. Then all app servers logged on users list, which means so SM04 here it will display the so how many users are logged into the your SAP system. It will give you the clear information. They are the 2 users are logged into the system, right? So they are from the 001 client, user IDs, which client, what is the application, means what is the transaction code they are asking, and when they logged into the system, all the information, how much memory they are eating, all the information will be displayed here. All the information will be displayed in the systems, right? All the information will be displayed in the systems in the SM04 transaction code here, right? Suppose you want to kill out this session, then you can just select the user, go to the sessions, then select it, delete the session, user will be logged out. Even I logged out from the session, I think. Yeah, I logged out from the ECP session. So which means my session I only deleted, right? Which means the user will get logged out. So AL08, all users who are logged into the system, all users will be displayed. Currently, I am only one person. I am doing this one. Only my user got displayed here. Which means so both are same. But this is the SM66 system-wide, all the users. You have the more application server, all users for each application server, how many logged in, all the information will be displayed here. If you have only specific to one application server, then you can go to the SM04 for only specific to the one application server here, right? Then along with this one, you have the SM51. Active application servers here. How many application servers you have in the current system? It will be displayed. You have the 10 application servers will be displayed here. You have only one by default, then one application server is active here, right? That is called the SM51 active app servers, active application servers list here, right? You need to check. So in this way, we can come to know how many application servers you have, how many are active. If out of 4, 3 are active means 1 is down. So we need to check why one application server is down here. So we need to investigate why it is stopped status, or that is the troubleshooting part. It will come here, right? That is the one thing here, active application servers list, right? So today SM13, SM14, then SM12, then so this 3 transaction code, total 6 transaction codes you need to practice it for today. Okay. Any
Yes.
questions? Anyone?
Yes, sir. Sir, I have one question. As you said, each dialog box will have minimum of 5 to 6 users.
Right.
Example, DDIC and basic. Once you enter with the logging of DDIC, it will allocate, assign the request and working on that. Here, SM12, we are mentioning as like lock mechanism, which is a lock transaction of particular activity. So one user is logged, they have option to take another, another 5 also available for that dialog box. You can take it.
Yeah, dialog process is responsible to handling the request only. It will take it out. It will take the other users also. It will take it out. So
Okay.
other user also it will take it. But if you are actively working in the system, then suppose you are actively working in the system, then so it will take other users also. But the minimum 2 are required. One work process is taking, another work process is processing. So it will process the up to 5 users. It will process it. So there is no doubt in that one. So, but only thing is, once you log in, then you are doing the here some you are doing something here, which means one dialog work process is occupied, and also our enqueue also will do the locking mechanism. Like that, hundreds of users, hundreds of locks will be happen in the systems, which means each work process has only their dedicated responsibilities, processing the user request and updating the records. Whoever user updated, it will update work process will update the records. Enqueue work process mechanism is locking the objects. When the user entering into the transaction, is something is doing, that time it will do the lock entry. Now I am in the system, so I'm not doing anything. Just I logged into the system. I am just doing the some other transaction code and access everything. If I go and SM12, nothing will be displayed here. Why? Because I'm not doing anything in the system. Just to weaving the transaction code, checking it here, nothing, 0 logs. But if you try to, if you're trying something here, you are trying to access something here, you are trying to create something here, that time the lock entry will happen. That time it will lock it, your transaction code. Means as soon as you log into the system, immediately the enqueue process will not lock. So if you are doing any kind of activity, that time it will do the locking.
Okay, sir. If I'm started doing some updation by using a transaction code SMLG, by using the user ID DDIC, if I log in as a basis user ID, do update again SMLG, it will not happen.
Right.
Okay, but user can take, but transaction cannot happen.
Yeah, transaction is he can do other work. He can do the other work, but transaction cannot take it out. He can do the other work and another transaction code he can update it. So, but not this same transaction.
Yes, sir. Okay, got it, sir.
Yeah.
But if you try to log in with other client as well, also same, no?
Yeah, same. System is only one, right? Other client also, if you do it, so it will give the same messages. System is one. Within the system only you have the so all this like work process clients and everything, right? System is only one. So that will not happen. Yeah, that's fine.
You have to practice at this codes, then only